Mr. Akins, you've reached the final round. You only need 6 more points to reach 300 and the grand prize. The final category is artists. Each correct answer will give you 1 point. You need 6 points to get the grand prize. 30 seconds on the clock, please. Good luck, and let's begin. George Perez, John Byrne, Alex Ross, Jack Kirby, Walt Simonson, Stevey D. Yes! Hello everybody, Mr. Akins here. Welcome to What's on the Comic Rack. Let's talk about a truly authentic member of our community. That would be Stevey D. And recently he's been sending off these portraits he's been doing of YouTubers or channels that he enjoys watching, and they've been showing those portraits off. I was lucky to get one early on, right when he first started, right when he got this idea to do portraits. And I'm going to show off the original one, the one I got a long time ago, and now I'm going to show the one I recently got. He wanted me to show the contrast of when he first started and where he's at now in his artwork. And in this one, this is the first one he sent to me, called it Captain Calculation. And as you can see, as all math teachers say, show your work right there. Got pi on my chest with 3.14. calculator, and of course all the math in the background and all the math symbols, and John Byrne wannabe. Now, one thing I noticed about looking at his artwork, I think I need to start shaving more often. So this was the first one he did for me and he sent to me, and now he did this one on a backing board. This is the newest one he sent me. And so we're going to compare it to his first artwork. Now this one was done on just a piece of paper, but there is a definite contrast. This is Captain Calculation 2.0. What's on the comic rack, Mr. Akins? Look at that pencil. Still got pi as the chest symbol, calculator in hand. Still got those math symbols. But we can tell a definite progression here from this right here to this right here. Love it. I think he's gotten the color has also been enhanced. I think this is much better, but I'm not saying I don't love this one right here. I love seeing people's artwork, and you can tell immediately who has done the artwork, and I think Stevey D has got his own unique style, which I absolutely love. But that's not the only thing I'm going to show in this video. Stevey also sent some comic books my way a couple months back, and I think I'm going to show those things off. I showed them off in a live. Not everybody watched that live. If you did see that live, you get to see my internet go out and Steve play for about 5 to 10 minutes before I could get back on. So not everybody saw that live and saw those comics Steve sent me, so I'm going to use this opportunity to show those comic books off again. And of course we're going to look at them Jambo style. When I started this video, I was going to show all the comics that I'd shown on the live stream with Stevey D, but then I decided just to show a few of my favorites, some that I may not have had in my collection, and this is one of them I didn't have in my collection, the Invincible Iron Man number 1/2. Now this comic was supposedly only available through a subscription to Wizard magazine. Here's the certificate of authenticity. But after reading this comic book, I realized that I had read it somewhere before. I'd either read it, it's somewhere in my collection, and since it says 1/2, it may not be where I thought it should be in the collection. Since I didn't know where it went in the collection, I decided to do a little bit of research to figure out where it does go in the collection. And I discovered that this book right here goes in between the Invincible Iron Man number 26 and the Invincible Iron Man number 25. Now this cover of Iron Man number 1/2 is done by Joe Quesada. He's also doing the writing duties on the inside, and this happens to be the first appearance of the Sons of Yinsen, the co-creator of Tony Stark's original armor. Now you have the movie Yinsen and you have the comic book Yinsen. The Sons of Yinsen
was a religious order that worshipped the work of Jensen. I have all the issues of Iron Man, and the legacy numbering doesn't match up with the number of issues I have. It's always been off by one, meaning I count them all up and it's not matching up. However, if I take this book right here into account, then the legacy numbering is accurate. So this comic book right here may answer that question of legacy numbering. Now, according to legacy numbering, they don't put this comic book in between 25 and 26. So I don't know. But for me, this may answer that question of legacy numbering and it not matching up with the number of issues I have. I didn't have the Invincible Iron Man number 1/2 in my collection until I got it from Stevey D, nor did I have this one. This is Iron Man Golden Avenger number 1. Now this is a one-shot that came out in 2008 with this movie photo cover. There's no indication that this story takes place in the movie timeline, nor any indication that it takes place in normal Marvel continuity. But it does revolve around the villain Spymaster, Jolt, who I've never heard of before, Plant Man, Backlash. Now, this photo cover is not expensive, but I know there's an expensive Iron Man photo cover out there, so where else do you go to find out what's expensive and what's not? And that would be eBay. And the one I was thinking of was this cover right here, the Invincible Iron Man number 1, 1 in 100 movie photo cover. Now, it's a variant print from 2008. Now, these are the ones that are for sale. But as we all know, you need to check the sold items. So it looks like there's only one that's sold for $208. But if you're digging through a dollar bin and you see this, make sure you pick it up because it's probably worth more than $1. And there's also this humor strip at the end of this book called Mini Marvels, which reminds me of Fred Hembeck, who used to do these funny little strips and comics when I started collecting. It's even drawn in a what I would call Fred Hembeck style. Now, Fred Hembeck is best known for his parodies of characters from Marvel and DC, and like Stevey D, Fred Hembeck has its own distinct style, especially with the little curly cues on the knees and elbows of the characters he draws. Then I began to search. I needed to find an example of Fred Hembeck's work. And so I knew exactly where to look for it, and that would be in this comic book right here, What If number 34. And on the inside we have a perfect example of his work right here. We've got the little curly cues on the watcher's elbows and the little curly cues on his knees. This was a humor issue. And if you ever see this in a dollar bin, make sure you pick this up. It's absolutely hilarious. And the last two books I'm going to show from Stevey D are this Marvel Action Hour Iron Man number 3 and this Marvel Action Hour Iron Man number 4. Now I didn't have either one of these in my collection, but one of the best things I like about these that he sent me is now I can start hunting for number 1 and number 2. Now these are two books that I have not read yet, but I know they're linked with the Iron Man animated series. I also know that Marvel Action Hour refers to the fact that Iron Man was paired up with the Fantastic Four, and both of the shows together made up an hour of cartoon Marvel action. These shows came out between 1994 and 1996, and I remember watching a few episodes, but it wasn't what you would call must-see TV for me. And again, I'm looking forward to trying to get out there and hunt for number 1 and number 2 to fill in the gap of this collection.
And there you have it, some cool comics sent to me by a cool member of our community, Stevey D. If you haven't subbed up to Stevey D, a link to his channel is in the description below. And sometimes you can catch him on the legion of substitute YouTubers. So until next time, we'll see you around the comic rack.